Hey everybody, thank you for joining us here on the Low Fact Podcast. Yeah, Dave and Matt, I wish we were more famous or important. Then maybe we'd be a little bit more entertaining, but I doubt it. Funnily enough, a lot of people tune into other podcasts and they have tons of viewers, tons of listeners, and I don't get it. You know, if it's just a talk show type format.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's cool. So, what do we got today?
Topics?
Well, you got to have something you want to talk about.
Well, I want to talk about coronavirus.
You talk to your heart's content. I'm not going to stop you.
I was just thinking, I was thinking about our previous topic about people saying people shouldn't be doing something, but everybody's doing it.
Well, not necessarily. You're kind of bastardizing the topic, but go ahead.
Well, the whole the hoarding thing that's been going on. Everybody's saying don't be sitting there and hoarding. Don't be sitting there and doing this selfish stuff. But everybody's doing it because everybody's like, well, shit, everybody's buying up stuff, so I got to go buy up stuff because otherwise there's not going to be anything to buy.
So, and here's a funny observation I just made.
What?
If you don't agree with something, then it's blatantly false. If you do, then, you know, it's patently true.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
So not everybody's a hypocrite, because there are probably people that can walk their talk, but everybody's a hoarder.
There's a lot of people hoarding. And then there's other people on social media saying, stop hoarding, stop behaving crazily. But I think everybody probably is behaving a little bit crazy right now. I'm assuming.
Like I said, you believe something, it is patently true. You don't believe it is patently untrue.
Are you asking me this question or is this an observation?
Up to you.
If I believe it, I do believe it's true, yes.
And nothing anybody else says will convince you otherwise?
Well, not if I've made up my mind about it.
Huh, interesting.
Interesting. What does that mean?
Do you need me to go walk over to the other end of the studio to find a dictionary to find out what the term interesting means?
Well, it's just your tone. You're like, interesting.
Okay, then how about this? Interesting. Is that better?
Not really.
Anyway. So you don't want people to hoard?
No.
I find that it really depends on...
There isn't a food shortage.
Well, yeah, but I find that a person's reactions to what's going on really, really kind of depends on their age, for one, and their age, and whether or not they have trust in the things that say trust me.
So you think young people are trusting, and old people are like, no, this is bullshit?
No, I just said that there's a difference. You're the one that decided what I thought that difference was. It does seem that older folks are not so. Some. There's some older folks that say, no, I don't think it's as bad as they say it is. There's some older folks that say, no, it's whatever. There's some folks that say, no, you can't really trust the media, the hype. There's some people saying it's not hype. I wouldn't know because my state is on lockdown. And I don't have that many friends to begin with, so it's not like I was able to go out and take a straw poll of anybody.
Everywhere's on lockdown, it seems like. But I guess it's hard to say if you're not there.
Well, you get the reports from the sources that say you need to trust me, and I don't think that it's some grand conspiracy. I do think that there are a bunch of interest groups trying to take advantage of the situation. What their purpose is, I really don't know, and I don't care so much because I'm just trying to live my life. But that's everybody, right? Everybody's just trying to live their life. And whether or not you're going to be roped in, thrown in to the basket of good and bad just really depends on what you think. Because if you think about it, everybody can be on board with Nazi bad.
Yeah.
Well, I think pretty much everybody that could be a Nazi was one. Because there were benefits to doing it. And they were saying, I'm just trying to live my life. I'm trying to put food on the table, blah, blah, get to the next day. And that's all true, too. But, you know, now, of course, you can sit there and say, am I am I trying to make a comparison between Nazism and whatever else is going on right now? In an odd sort of way, I may be, but if you're kind of trying to throw me off of what I'm saying by saying, are you comparing, the media or whatever to Nazis, then I'm just gonna be like, dude, you're high. We don't really need to talk anymore because, and that's an argumentative device that doesn't really go to the merits of the argument.
Well, how about all the judgment? Like, how about the people on social media who are sitting there saying, oh, my friend posted about going out or going on holiday or going to a restaurant. They're so freaking irresponsible. And I'm like, well, how do you know they're irresponsible? I mean, that's assuming that everything that we're being told is correct. That there are a whole lot of people out there that have it. There are a whole lot that by going out that you're, increasing everybody's risk. But I haven't heard anybody really give any evidence as to who has it and how dangerous it is.
Well, it's one of those things where for most people, it doesn't seem like it's going to be too bad. You're going to have flu-like symptoms and it's going to be done.
Yeah.
Then there are those people that have other underlying conditions or whatever that if it gets really bad, then it can be really bad.
Right.
It's like a mistake in a low-tech thing. Like if you are a carpenter and you don't cut a piece of wood the right size, then, that's a pretty easy fix. It's not going to be that bad.
Okay.
But if you are a heart surgeon and you cut into someone's heart on accident, well, that's going to be pretty catastrophic for the heart you cut into.
Right.
Maybe, right?
Mm-hmm.
The fix might not be quite as easy. So, because this is a new strain of a pre-existing thing, they don't know. And depending on who you talk to, right? I mean, there are medical professionals saying, oh, it can be really bad. And they're thinking if there's like 4 million people in need of respirators, or I don't know, let's make it a gigantic number, 10 million people.
Right.
That's in need of respirators. And there might not be 10 million respirators out there.
Yeah.
At that point, they're going to be like, well, we're going to have to decide who gets to live and who gets to die.
That's pretty bad.
So, from that standpoint, it's just like the vaccinations, right? The MMR vaccine that had a big to-do. There are plenty of people that don't want to vaccinate their kids because they think it's bad for their kids. And it may be, it may not be, I don't know. I'm not making any kind of value judgment on that. But if you don't have enough people being vaccinated on stuff, then it might be bad for a whole bunch of other folks.
Right. A very big group.
Maybe, maybe not. So I think that a big part of the concern is just from the unknown. And everybody pitching in an opinion from a powers that be standpoint, well, they've got their own agendas too, right? Nobody wants mass hysteria going on and just collapsing of economies. So there's that. Then no one wants to be. Look, if this thing only hurts 1 out of 100 or 1 out of 1 million people,
yeah.
If you're that one person, you and your family are going to be completely devastated by it.
Yeah.
If you're the other, whatever, remaining number of folks that aren't going to be that harmed by it, then you're just like, I don't know what the big deal is. It's like having a peanut butter allergy, right? I'm not allergic to peanuts, so I'm just like, what's the big deal?
Right.
Somebody actually have a family member who is allergic to peanuts. If they eat a peanut, then you need to pull out an EpiPen and get all kinds of things going.
Yeah.
So there you have it. Is that what but I know that's not what you wanted to talk about, but
you have such a reasonable view about it. I'm kind of extreme about it. I'm just kind of like, there's a big part of me that feels like there's a dramatic overreaction going on. But if there's a chance of it killing people, then I guess I understand.
I think it's just the unknown factor about it. I mean, like we've been told, it's a new strain. It's an unknown strain. It's a previously unknown strain to a virus that's been around for a while.
Yeah.
So, okay. So people are going to be a bit concerned about it until they know. I hope this blows over pretty quickly.
Me too.
And I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's going to get worse before it gets better. And I'm like, well, maybe, maybe not.
But why would you say something like that when you don't know?
Well, because it's fun. It's
It
fun.
is not fun.
It's fun to seem like you know stuff.
I think it's an irresponsible thing to say if you don't know. Especially if people are looking to you.
People say a lot of irresponsible things, and lie to other people's faces. Like who hasn't been to McDonald's and tried to get them to accept a coupon, and they're all like, "No, we don't take this coupon." And I'm like, "Why not? You've taken it before." Like, and it could just very well be that employee doesn't know how to do it and doesn't want to ask and just doesn't want to be bothered by it.
Yeah.
Everybody has been face to face with someone who doesn't know how to do something and doesn't want to say, "I don't know how to do this," or get any help or figure something out because they don't care.
Yeah.
And and pretty much people are thinking, well, it's a frickin' fast food store. If you don't get your burger, chicken sandwich, or whatever for 60 cents off, then you're going to be okay. But there's a lot of selfishness involved in that attitude. I don't want to be put out for you, and you shouldn't be too bothered by it because I don't think it's that big of a deal. Let me tell you, everybody's been in that boat.
Yeah. It's true.
On both sides, everybody's been on both sides of that boat.
Oh, but they've been in both person's shoes.
Yes.
Of the I can't be bothered and I don't want to look stupid or I just don't want to deal with this.
Yes, they've been the person that didn't want to do that, and they've also been the person to be like, no, I want what I want.
Yeah.
You moron.
Yeah.
And so the whole going back to the whole thing before, the whole I'm just doing my job or whatever, or don't bother me. That's part of it. I mean, after we did that episode, I mean, tons of people were like, oh, let me explain to you about the I'm just doing my job and why when I say it, it's right. And there's a valid reason for it, and that's why you can't lump me in. I'm like, well, yeah, there's exceptions to everything, really.
Ugh, that's so annoying.
But anyway, we've gone way over time for today's episode. Hopefully you've stuck around for all of it.
And you got lots of time to be sitting and listening if you're self-quarantining.